Good morning and welcome everyone. We're going to begin our 60-minute chair yoga here in just a moment. First, I'd like you to make sure that you have a nice sturdy armless chair. That's going to help us to move well. And by sturdy, I mean it doesn't have to be heavy, but if you were to stand up and push down on the back of it, it wouldn't tip over or collapse. So we're going to come to our seats, preferably with bare feet. You can wear socks at least for now if your feet are cold. And we're going to come with our heels under our knees and the knees lined up with the hips. Let's tuck the tailbone, lace up the core, give the shoulders a big roll up, back, and down. Lengthen through the crown of the head and tuck the chin. Now just sitting here on the edge of our seat with our perfect posture, I'd like you to take a deep breath in all the way down to the soles of the feet, closing the eyes. And exhale completely. Feel the body supported by your chair, by the floor, and by the earth. Now just for a moment, bringing your attention to today's class. Let's make ourselves that promise that we will not push too hard, that we'll honor any feelings of restriction, especially through the joints, that we'll maintain the lines of communication with the body, pressing forward when it's appropriate, holding back when it's appropriate, and offering ourselves a bit of a challenge in the meantime. Now let's take a deep breath in. Exhale and open the eyes. Good. So let's start with a quick spinal release. Hands to knees, extend through the crown of the head, and then we'll exhale, curve and round, pressing the belly button toward the spine. Now inhale, up, lift, look up toward the sky, elbows in. Exhale, curve and round, lengthen the neck, shoulders down. Again, inhale, up, lift, extending, lengthen. Exhale, curve and round. And we'll come back to neutral. Great. Now let's just give those shoulders a few rolls. Up, back, and down. And throughout our class today, I'd like you to make sure that your feet are nice and flat on the floor. And if you do feel the need to sit all the way back in your chair because you're experiencing tension in your lower back or your core, you can feel free to do so as long as you can find yourself a cushion so that you can still sit fully upright. Good. Nice big rolls. And just feel those traps loosen out, those muscles that attach our shoulder to our neck. Now when you're ready, reach with the whole arm, one side and then the other. Lengthening through the fingertips. And now we're just waking up our rotator cuff. So this dynamic stretch where we're stretching and moving rather than stretching and holding is great for waking up the joints, getting them moving a little bit more smoothly, helping with our circulation, and it's safe to do any time. Good. Breathe. One more time on each side, just like that. And remember, you can restrict your range of motion and reduce if you need to. Good, and now we're just going to come into a spinal roll down. So sitting up nice and tall, relax the shoulders down and back, take a deep breath in. Exhale the chin toward the chest, and we're just going to roll down one vertebrae at a time. The forearms can come to the thighs, or you can relax all the way down toward the floor. If you do choose to let the body hang, relax the arms and neck as much as you're able. Good. As you inhale, think of widening the back. As you exhale, relax down toward the floor. Good. And now let's walk the hands back up. And we'll sit up nice and tall. Excellent. Okay. Let's come down to the neck for just a little static stretching to start. Deep breath in, lengthen. And we'll exhale the right ear toward the right shoulder. I'd like you to hold here. First thing we'd like to do is make sure that our shoulders are nice and even side to side. We're not going to tip. And of course, we're not bending from the lower back either. So make sure you're even on your seat across both sides of the body. You should feel this in the left side of the neck. And if you'd like more, reach those left fingertips out with the thumb pointed toward the sky. Spread the fingers, and you can even press that thumb back behind you to deepen the stretch even further. Breathe into it. Relax. Notice how this right shoulder seems to want to tense up, so we want to just relax it down and back away from the ear. Breathe. Keep your core strong to maintain your stability, and notice where you can relax. Think of tipping your left jaw up toward the sky. Good. Now inhale back through neutral, left hand to the thigh. Exhale, left ear toward the left shoulder. So now again, think of tipping the right corner of your jaw toward the sky. You can look down if you need less of a twist through your neck. And if you want more, reach those right fingertips down, press the thumb back behind you and allow the arm to follow. Notice where you can relax, especially through that left arm. It's going to want to tense right up to help. And that contraction is part of your protective reflex, which is fine, but it hurts more than it helps when we end up with neck tension instead of that ability to relax. So really focus here. Good, and now we're going to come through neutral and exhale, drop the head back. Inhale through neutral, exhale the chin toward the chest. Moving with the breath now. Inhale through neutral, exhale, drop the head back. Inhale through neutral, exhale, chin toward the chest. So we've changed our stretching to dynamic from static once again. You can hold in place if you feel the need to, or you can continue just moving with me, breathing in as you come through neutral, and exhaling the chin toward the chest or back. Good. One more time in each direction. Lengthen and drop. Keep those shoulders way down as far as they'll go. And through neutral, and chin toward the chest. Really good. Now inhale to neutral, extend through the crown of the head. Exhale and gently turn the head to one side. Inhale through neutral and gently turn to the other side. Shoulders stay way down and back. Inhale through neutral. Exhale and turn. Inhale through neutral. Exhale and turn. And now we'll come back to neutral for our last movement, sitting up tall, relaxing the arms at the sides. Take a deep breath in. Exhale the right ear toward the right shoulder. Inhale, roll the chin across the chest, bringing the left ear toward the left shoulder. Inhale, roll across the chest, right ear toward the right shoulder. We stop where the jaw points toward the sky. Inhale, roll across the chest, left ear toward the left shoulder. One more time in each direction, roll across the chest. Right ear toward the right shoulder, and roll across the chest. Left ear toward the left shoulder, and we'll come back to neutral. Great job. And we'll release the arms. Now we're going to come into a little bit of spinal twisting. So if you do come late to class on a given day, if you're joining us maybe now when we're starting to move into the single-sided movements, just make sure that you're always completing each exercise on both sides of the body, and you're taking it easy when you first begin the class so that your body warms up properly. So sitting up nice and tall. Let's come into that nice easy twist. Left hand to the right knee. Right hand can come to the hip. Inhale, extend through the crown of the head, lengthen first, and then we'll exhale and look out over the back, shoulders follow. So before you go any further, there's a few things I want you to check for. Knees are still pointed forward and they're lined up side to side. So don't let this hip come back when you move. We want to brace our core so that the lower back stays straight and strong, and we're twisting from the belly button to the crown of the head. Our shoulders are down. The neck is long, and there's no pain anywhere. When you're ready, if you'd like more, that right hand can come to the seat of the chair, or to the back of the chair, or you can reach out in line with your shoulder. Make sure in this pose that the shoulders are not hiking up toward the ears, and you're not leaning forward or allowing the chest to cave in order to get deeper into the pose. So when we're twisting, in any pose really, we want to be breathing deeply into the rib cage and belly. See how much you can expand. Good. Exhale and relax. So twisting poses are really great for moving toxins out of the body. Imagine, every time you breathe, imagine squeezing your internal organs like a sponge. And then as you relax, just settle into the pose. Good, one more deep breath in. Exhale, look forward, square the shoulders forward, and we'll grasp the knees to release the spine. Let's curve and round, press the belly button back. Inhale, up, lift, look up, shoulders down, elbows in. And come back to neutral, and we'll come along to the other side. Sitting up tall, right hand comes to the left knee now. Left hand comes to the hip, and we prioritize our straight spine and our perfect posture first. And then as we exhale, look out over the back shoulder, allow your shoulders to follow. Do not allow the hips and the knees to follow. Keep them squared forward. And again, think of bracing the core and twisting from the belly button to the crown of the head. The left hand can come down to the seat of the chair or to the back of the chair, or you can reach out in line with the shoulder if you like. Extend toward that back wall. Really open up. Breathe. Good. Relax into the stretch. And remember, throughout our class today, that you can release all or part of any pose, anytime. It's all yours. One more deep breath in. Exhale, look forward, square the shoulders forward, and we'll grasp the knees. Let's curve and round the spine to reset. Inhale, up, lift, look up, shoulders down, elbows in. Exhale, curve and round. And come back to neutral. Great, okay, so now let's come into a little half moon and then we're going to come into lower body. So I'd like you to grasp the right side of your chair with the right hand. You can shift to the side slightly if you need to, but I'd like you to get a really good grip, and we're sitting up nice and tall with that shoulder down away from the ear. Left arm reaches up toward the sky, as long as that's okay for your shoulder. And then we're going to exhale and bend the right elbow in toward the spine, and bend the spine from the belly button to the crown of the head. So noticing again, the movement still comes from the lower middle back up to the crown of the head, but it's a different movement. This is a bend rather than a twist, and I want you to make sure that your bottom shoulder is down as far as it'll go. That's why we bend that bottom elbow. Core is strong to protect the lower back, and arm positioning is up to you. You can put that arm anywhere that's comfortable. Good, breathing deeply. Look up toward the sky if it's okay for your neck and shoulders. And I'd like you to really target that stretch in the left rib cage and side body. Good. Inhale and come up. Exhale and release the arm. We'll grasp the left side of the chair now. Once again, resetting our posture, sitting up nice and tall. You can shift to one side if you need to. Shoulders down and back, neck long, chin tucked. And we'll inhale the right arm up toward the sky. Breathe in deep. Exhale the left elbow in toward the spine. Press that shoulder way down away from the ear. Good. Again, you can look up toward the sky if it's okay for your neck and shoulders. Otherwise, look toward the floor. And remember that that right arm positioning is up to you. The hand can come down to the hip anytime, and you'll still get a bit of extension through that right side body. Good. Breathe. Feel the rib cage expand every time you inhale, and relax every time you exhale. Now let's inhale and come up. Exhale and release the arm. Great job. Okay, quick spinal release, hands to knees. And we'll curve and round. Press the belly button toward the spine. Inhale up, lift, look up, shoulders down, elbows in. Exhale, curve and round. And come back to neutral. Great. Okay, let's move along to the lower body now. Feel free to grab a drink of water anytime you need one. And we'll begin by bringing the right knee in toward the chest and grasping just below the knee. So this is option one. You can also bring the hands underneath the thigh if that's more comfortable for you. And you can also release that foot all the way back down to the floor. We're going to start by rotating the ankle around in a circle. Now I want you to really check your posture here. No matter where that leg is positioned, we want a nice straight spine. So if you're holding on to the leg in any spot, I want you to make sure that you're not allowing the shoulders to come forward or the chest to cave in or the head to drop. So we're sitting up really straight and tall, and this movement, this action, is going to help us to train those muscles that will allow us to have perfect posture without having to think about it later on in class. Good, and now we'll flex and extend that foot toward the ceiling and the floor. And our goal here is to make that lower leg a little bit tired so that we know that we're strengthening it and increasing our endurance. That's going to make our balance and even our ability to get around a lot better later on. Good. And now when you're ready, you can cross the right shin over the left thigh, or you can cross the right ankle over the left ankle. So if you stay down low, please make sure that you're not making an X with your legs in the center unless that's what you need for your hips. We want one supporting foot, heel under the knee lined up with the hip, and the other leg just moves around that. If your leg is up high, we're sitting up tall, drawing the leg in toward the body and pressing the hips down into the seat to try and find that stretch in the right hip and outside of the right thigh. Tuck the elbows in, core is strong, shoulders are down, neck long and the chin tucked. Good. And we smile, always. Breathe into that stretch. As you exhale, notice where you can relax a little. Great, and now we'll release that shin across the thigh. Good, you can readjust, and we're just noticing now, this is a much deeper stretch and much more of a twist for our knee and our hip. So again, you can come back to any modification that's comfortable for you. Start by sitting up tall, and when we correct our posture, we also correct our pelvic alignment. So that's going to increase the stretch in that hip to begin so we know where we are. And then if you feel like you'd like a little more, tip forward with a straight spine. See if you can keep the body straight like a board. I'm not getting very far today. You might not either. So that's just a reminder that sometimes we think that we're getting deeper into the pose and doing better if we get closer to our leg, and that's not the case at all. Because we could tuck the tailbone and have no stretch at all, but feel as though we're getting deeper into the stretch. So remember, always form comes first and that flexibility will follow. Good. Lift your tailbone up toward the sky. Whatever position you're in, arch the lower back just a little bit and feel that stretch deepen. And if you'd like to take this a little further, you can relax down, bringing the forearms to the shin or releasing the arms down along the sides of the body. Good. Breathe. Yeah, really good. And then we'll make our way back up and release the leg. Flex and extend. We're going to lengthen out, place the heel on the floor, and flex that right foot back toward the body. Sitting up nice and tall, the core is strong. And again, we're right at the edge of our seat. That's really important here so that we can get that thigh bone nice and straight. And we're going to bring both hands to the bent knee. Take a deep breath in and sit up tall. Exhale, tip from the hip, lifting your tailbone toward the sky. You can grasp that chair if you need to, if it's shifting at all. And otherwise, we're just here with our straight spine and feeling the length behind that right knee coming up into the hamstring and down into the calf. You can reach for the toe if you want to, but remember again, the goal is never to get as deeply as we can into the pose. The goal is always only to feel the stretch and move within our own range of motion and level of flexibility. Great. All right, let's come on back up and release the leg. And we'll come to the other side. So sitting up nice and tall, readjusting our position always before we come into any pose or series of poses. And we'll bring that left knee into the chest, grasping just below the knee, or grasping under the thigh, or bringing the foot all the way to the floor. And we rotate the ankle and correct our posture. Shoulders are down and back, elbows are in, neck long, and the chin is tucked. And you should feel the muscles of the back and the backs of the arms contract, not the muscles of the neck and the tops of the shoulders. Good. Good. Now flex and extend. And if your foot is on the floor, you never lose contact with the floor. So we're not holding the leg up here to do the rotation. You can leave the ball of the foot on the floor, or you can alternate between heel and toe. Good. And now let's cross that left shin across the right thigh. And again, we're straightening our spine first, because in order to get into this pose, often we have to let the spine cave in to reduce the extension in that left hip. Good, so sitting up tall, and maybe you know now which side is tighter. It's usually going to be one side or the other, and often it'll always be the same side. So we're not forcing ourselves into a given position, because we could get there on the other side. We're just working with it and noticing, working to balance things out as much as we're able. Breathe deeply into the muscle you feel stretching, and as you exhale, you can deepen your pose by tipping forward and arching the lower back a little bit if you like. Or you can just notice where you can relax a little bit. Good. Really good. Now let's come on up, and we'll release that left shin across the right thigh, letting that left knee drop out to the side, and noticing how our stretch changes and whether or not that's okay for our joints. And of course, at first we're sitting up really nice and straight and tall. See if we can get both hips nice and even. You can rock from side to side in any of these poses, nice and slowly and gently if you like. And then when you're ready, you can tip forward from the hip, arching the lower back up toward the sky. Shoulders are down away from the ears. Notice where you can relax. Good. Remember again, we're always starting with a straight spine, and then once you find the depth of your stretch, if you'd like, you can round forward from the belly button toward the crown of the head, relaxing down over the leg, resting the forearms on the shin, or releasing the arms down along the sides of the body. Always breathing deeply, moving mindfully. Good, and now we'll press back up and release the leg. Hamstring stretch now. Lengthen out the left leg, flex the left foot back toward you. Make sure you're at the edge of your seat so that you can keep that left leg nice and straight. And we'll sit up tall, bringing the hands to the bent knee. Take a deep breath in and extend. Square your shoulders toward the extended leg, and then we'll tip forward. Arching the lower back up toward the sky, relaxing your shoulders, lengthening the neck in line with the spine. You can rest your elbows down on that bent knee if you'd like. Never put pressure on the straight joint. And if you'd like, you can reach for the toe. Remember, the goal is never to touch the toe. We're just looking for that stretch behind the left knee, up into the hamstring, down into the calf. Great. And now let's make our way back up, and we'll release the leg. Excellent. Okay, next series will be our warrior from sitting. So I'd like you to turn to the side in your chair. So the back of the chair is on your right side. The inside half of the body is on the chair. The outside half is off the chair. And we might as well grab a drink of water on the way. We're going to drop the outside knee down underneath the hip while we're holding onto the back of that chair for our balance. Outside hand comes to the hip, and we're going to tuck the tailbone. I'd like you to see if you can find that stretch in the left hip flexor and quadricep. Good, so we're just starting by finding our position, making sure we can get into this position while we're keeping that back foot pointed forward. So if you have to collapse the knee and let that foot turn to the side in order to get here, you're going a little too far, and you can bring that foot forward a little more. Good. So sitting up nice and tall. And first, I'd like us to all just tip forward and bring the elbows to that front thigh, and then see if you can straighten out the back leg and bring the stretch into the lower leg, into the calf and Achilles tendon here. Good, just breathe and find that balance, find that strength through the upper body to maintain your perfect upright posture here, or your long straight posture. Good, and then we'll come on back up, and you can bend that back knee again, and we'll just reach that left arm up toward the sky if it's comfortable for you while we tuck the tailbone. And now while we're here at our topmost point, you can straighten out that leg a little more if you're able. Reach up with both arms if it works for you. Check in with those shoulders. And you can push into the soles of the feet if you'd like to intensify a little bit here. Make sure that your front knee is lined up directly over the ankle. And we're breathing deeply. Good. Check the shoulders are relaxed down away from the ears. Arm positioning is up to you. You can bring those arms across. You can even bring the hands back down to that front knee if you need a little extra support here. So I'd just like you to find, first of all, focus. Focus your gaze, focus your mind. And then we find that stretch, and we move around our joints. One more deep breath in. Exhale, and we'll release the arms. Bend the back knee, turn the back foot at 90 degrees to the front foot. Now I'd like you to straighten out the back leg, but you can straighten it out at whatever angle is comfortable for you. So in our standard Warrior 2, the legs are going to be at 180 degrees, straight out. But if you need a little bit less than that, that's fine. The only thing we don't want to do is collapse that left knee. So you want to make sure you can keep it straight and strong. And if you're not able to do the twist at all, just point that leg forward and point your knee and your toes forward and toward the ceiling. Now let's reach out with both arms in line with the front knee. So no matter where that back leg is pointing, as much as we can, we're reaching the arms out in line with the right leg. Hands can come to the hips or behind the back if you need a little less here. And now in Warrior 2, our gaze is fixed on the nail of the hand that's over the bent knee. Good, so we're reaching out toward those side walls, toward the horizon line, relaxing the shoulders down, and I want you to find your perfect straight upright posture right in the middle of this pose. So we're never leaning forward, we're not leaning back, we're here nice and solid in the center. Good, feel your strength here, feel that extension. One more deep breath in. Exhale, the left hand or elbow to the thigh, swing. Left arm comes across the front of the body, and we look up toward the sky. So the arm on the bent knee side, the front leg, is going to come down, and you can come up here further if you need a little bit less, especially for your lower back. Look up toward the sky if it's okay for your neck and shoulders, and this is another really good deep psoas stretch. It also gets those muscles between your ribs, and we're looking for that extension that's going to help us to achieve a deeper, fuller breath later on without us having to think about it too much. So if those muscles are too tight, imagine trying to blow up a balloon that's really stiff versus one that's very relaxed, right? So just extend through those fingertips if you're reaching up above. And of course that hand can come to the hip anytime, but we're looking for that stretch through the side body from the hip through the rib cage. Now let's inhale and come up. Exhale, release the arm. Let's bend the back knee. We're going to come into another little hamstring stretch just to release the lower back and knees. So sitting up nice and tall, straightening that leg right out in front, and we'll tip forward. Again, the hands or the elbows can come to the bent knee. You can reach for the toes if you want to. Remember, the goal is not to touch the toes. And we'll come back up and move along to the other side. So turning around so that the back of the chair is on the left side and we're grasping it with that left hand. The left side of the body is on the chair. The right half of the body is off the chair. And we're going to drop that right knee down underneath the hip. Tuck the tailbone, shoulders down and back. Core is nice and strong. Good. Lengthen through the crown of the head. And I just want you to start by tucking the tailbone and finding that extension through those quadriceps and the hip flexor. So the hip flexor is a very small muscle that tends to overwork itself when our glutes forget to function. And your glutes can forget to function when you sit on them for too long. That's all it takes. So we want to be stretching this little muscle as much as we can because it can contribute to a lot of things. Back pain, even sciatica, things like that. So now if you're ready, you can tip forward. The hands and the elbows, or the elbows, can come to the front bent knee. And we'll just straighten out that back leg so that we can find that nice deep extension through the Achilles tendon and calf. Good. And remember, you're more than welcome always to just move around in your stretch and address the muscles that are calling out to you. You know your body best, so just work with it. Great, and then we'll come on back up as we bend the back knee, just to allow for a little more space there. And we're sitting up nice and tall, grasping the back of that chair for balance. Tuck the tailbone. You can straighten out the back leg a little bit or a lot if you want to. And we're just going to reach up with the arm on the back leg side at the same time. So if you come up here and you straighten that back leg and your lower back has a great big arch in it, I want you to bend the back knee a little bit or tip forward from the hip and bring one or both hands to that front knee. We want to eliminate that hyperextension as much as we can. And you can reach up with both arms if you're feeling comfortable. You can also push the soles of the feet into the floor and rise up just a little bit and train your endurance and also find a little better alignment through that lower body. Good, breathe. Make sure your core feels nice and strong. There's no pain, especially in your shoulders, lower back, hips, and knees. One more deep breath in. Exhale, and we'll release the arms, grasp the back of the chair. We're going to bend the back knee, straighten out the back leg, and just extend it out, bring the sole of the foot to the floor at whatever angle is most comfortable for you. So once again, just be reminded that you can come forward, you can bend the knee toward the ceiling and point the toes forward if that's more comfortable for you without the twist. And we're going to reach both arms out in line with the front leg. Shoulders down and back, away from the ears. And I just like you to notice where you feel the stretch. On a given day, it might be through the fronts of the shoulders. It might be through the torso. It might be only in the thighs. And again, you might want to bring those hands down to the hips. If your shoulders are getting tired, especially. Breathe. And no matter where that back leg is pointing, arms are lined up with the front leg as much as we can. Great job, guys. One more deep breath in. Exhale the front hand or elbow to the front thigh. Swing the back arm down across the front of the body and open up toward the sky. Lengthen through the fingertips. So remember, our goal here is to really open up the side body and think about getting that stretch all the way down into the center, the core of your body, into those muscles that we never see on the outside. Good. Think of the inside of your spine, the inside of those pelvic bones, the muscles surrounding your organs. Breathe deeply into that and lengthen. Notice where you can relax as you exhale. Remember, that top hand can come down anytime. Now let's inhale and come up. Exhale, release the arm. We'll grasp the chair and draw the leg in, extending that right leg out. So nice and straight, sitting up nice and tall, shoulders down and back. And you can place the hands on the front bent knee. Deep breath in, square the shoulders forward. Exhale, tip from the hip. And just looking for that extension and the realignment through the lower body. Good, and now let's come on up. And we'll come back to center. So now we're going to come up through our seat-assisted squat to standing, and of course always grab a drink of water on the way. So right to the edge of your seat. And what we're looking for here is first and foremost just perfect alignment when you come in to sit to stand and when you come back down to sitting, which means our knees, hips, and ankles are all lined up. Our spine is straight, shoulders are down and back, and we can place the hands anywhere except on the thighs or on the chair if you can help it, but use the assist if you need to today. Okay, so tipping forward from the hip, take a deep breath in. Exhale, push into the heels and gently rise up, pushing into the outsides of the feet as you go. Good, and we stand. Great, so let's come behind our chair now. And we'll start, I think, today with a little bit of balance, just getting our feet under us. So the first thing we always want to do, just like when we're sitting, is our grounding and centering. So I'd like you to rock back and forth across the balls of the feet and the heels. And then we're just going to settle nice and easy in the middle. Now here, I'd like you to spread the toes and just kind of grip the floor or the mat. And just notice how it feels to stand evenly across all four corners of your feet, nice and solid on the floor, on the earth. And then we check in, our knees are soft, tailbone is tucked, core strong, shoulders down and back, chest proud, neck long, and the chin is tucked. Remember too that you can come back down to sitting anytime. I'd like you to focus your gaze on anything at all that's not moving. And let's inhale one arm or both arms up toward the sky, and we're going to come up onto the toes. So remember, if you're just working on your balance a little bit today and hoping to improve it, but you're not sure where it is, your fingertips can come to the chair, or you can come to another piece of furniture that might be at another level, or your fingertips can come to the wall anytime, of course. So just feel the soles of your feet on the floor. Feel your core and your lower body strong to support you here. Feel the shoulders and your breathing relaxed. Good. One more deep breath in. Exhale the heels down to the floor and we'll release the arms. Excellent job. Let's work out the ankles. Great. So now we're just going to do a little bit of single leg balance test. So it's just a little yoga play. So we're just going to come on to, again, four corners of our feet. You can inhale one arm up toward the sky. I'd only do one arm this time, and we're going to come up onto the toes. So now from here, I'd like you to just shift to the left side and lift the right toes. Shift to the right side and lift the left toes. So you can have your fingertips on that piece of furniture or the wall. It's completely up to you. Good, and we're just focusing our gaze. So remember always, everything is challenging when we first try it. And if it's not challenging, then there's not the opportunity to get better. So just notice where you are today with your balance, shifting and lifting, and really feeling the soles of your feet. Remember that your arms can come down anytime, if your shoulders are getting tired especially. We're just going to do one more time on each side. Keep breathing deeply, relax the jaw, good. And we'll release down onto the heels and release the arms, work out the ankles. Excellent job. So less than 2 minutes to do that whole exercise that we just did. So I would highly encourage you to do that a few times throughout the day. There's always an opportunity. So now we're going to come into our single leg balance, and we'll be in our tree today. So standing nice and tall. And I'd like you to turn so that your supporting leg is on the chair side. Okay? So it doesn't really matter what side you're starting on, but the leg you'll be standing on first is on the chair side. Now let's shift to that supporting leg, and we'll bring our other foot into position wherever is comfortable for you. So the knee can point forward, or you can come with me and bring it out to the side. The foot can come to the calf, the thigh, or the top of the thigh. And we're going to bring one hand or both hands into prayer. Good. Now here I'd like you to tuck your tailbone, lace up the core, feel those muscles in the side of the body working to hold you here. And remember, priority one is just single leg balance. You might be here, and that's fine. We're just focusing on the sole of our supporting foot, the strength in the pillar leg and our core, and how relaxed our shoulders can be while we're here. When you're ready, if you'd like, you can reach those arms up above, part the hands and drop the shoulders. And remember, you can always have a fingertip on that chair. Just make sure that you're not leaning heavily on the chair if you can help it. Okay, so priority is the balance, not how deeply you can get into the pose. Good, now let's inhale, hands together. Exhale down through prayer. Release the leg and work out the ankles. Great job. Now you're just going to turn around so that we can come to the other side. So always that chair is on the supporting leg side in tree pose, and we'll start by just standing up nice and tall, shoulders down and back, chest proud, neck long, chin tucked, and we're shifting to that inside leg, bringing our other foot into position wherever is comfortable for you. And remember too that our balance is just like our flexibility and our strength. It's going to be different from one side of the body to the other. We'll have different strengths and challenges, and we're just working with it. So again, you can have your fingertips on that chair. Once you get here, whatever position you're in, I'd like you to prioritize that posture. So sitting up tall, tucking the tailbone, left knee presses out to the side, core is strong. And when you're ready, you can reach up with one arm or with both arms. Relax the shoulders down and back. Breathe deeply. Good. Yeah, and smile while you're here. Yeah, get those endorphins going. Really great job, guys. Just one more deep breath in as we bring the hands together. And we'll exhale down through prayer. Release the leg. And work out the ankles. Well done. Okay. So it's not long before we come back down to our seats for Shavasana. We're just going to come into a little wide-legged stance now. So I'd like you to turn your chair so that when you're standing in front of it, behind it, you can access the seat of the chair. So whether you're bringing the back beside you or in front of you, you just don't want it right next to the body. So standing nice and tall. And we're going to step the feet wider than the legs of the chair, preferably. If you can't go wider than hip width, then that's fine. And feel free to work out any kinks that you might happen to have as we move here. And we're going to take a deep breath in, sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, tip from the hip, and just bring the hands down to the seat of the chair. So again, I just want you to make sure that there's nothing in your way here. So the back of the chair is not in front of your shoulders. And then we're going to, if you can, bring the elbows down to the seat of the chair, lifting your tailbone up toward the sky and relaxing down. Good. You can shift one hip and then the other toward the sky. And if you feel comfortable taking this a step further, you can relax all the way down toward the floor. Good. Breathe deeply. Shift into the heels, lifting the tailbone toward the sky, no matter what position you're in. So you might be up here. Good. And then we're going to press the seat of the chair away from us. So you can always come up to the back of the chair if the seat of the chair is too low. Now we're going to center the right hand on the seat of the chair between the shoulder blades and then reach that left elbow and then the left arm up toward the sky. Good. Breathing deeply and extending through those fingertips. So just a reminder too that any of these poses, like I said, you can come up to the back of the chair. You can even come up to a wall and still come into this twist, as long as you're just making sure that your spine is nice and long and you're able to breathe deeply into the pose. So if you're ever in a pose and you're holding your breath, then that's an indication that you're working a little bit too hard. If you'd like, you can take that top hand, you can place it on the hip or rest it on the back or wrap it all the way around behind the body, bracing it on the opposite hip. Shoulders are way down, away from the ears. And we're breathing deeply. Now let's inhale and reach up toward the sky. Exhale and release the hands down to the seat of the chair. You can come down into a little forward fold to release here. And then we'll press the seat of the chair away once again, centering the left hand on the seat between the shoulder blades. Make sure that your knees are nice and soft here. We never want to lock them out and make them feel too weak. And then we're going to reach that right elbow up toward the sky as we inhale. You can follow with the arm if it's comfortable for you. And then we twist. Press your bottom hand down into the seat of the chair. Make sure your bottom arm feels strong, almost as though you'd like to do a push-up here. See how much you can square your hips toward the floor and brace the core to keep your lower back safe. If you'd like, on the exhale, you can wrap that top arm back behind the body, bracing it on the opposite hip. Or it can just rest on the hip or on the back. Prioritize that long, straight spine and move around that. See if you can get an extension through the rib cage and the shoulders. Now let's inhale and reach up toward the sky. Exhale, release the arm. And we'll relax down, reset just briefly. And then we'll bend the knees and roll up. Excellent. Work the heels and toes together. And we'll step the feet together. Shake it off. Excellent job. Okay, now I think, yes, we have just enough time for a standing warrior series. So I'd like you to come behind your chair now. And again, just grabbing a drink of water anytime. Great, so standing nice and tall, and again finding the soles of our feet, rocking back and forth across the balls of the feet and the heels, settling in the center. Shift to the left leg, extend the right leg straight back behind you, toes point forward, And we'll gently press that back heel down toward the floor. First, I'd like you to come down onto the back of the chair. So I'd really like you to prioritize that lower leg first. A lot of us are doing a lot more walking lately, so this is a very important muscle group to address and make sure we've got it nice and long. So we're tipping forward to change the angle of the body, so there's no arch in the lower back and we can really dig in to that lower right leg. Good. Press the heel down toward the floor. It doesn't have to get all the way there today or ever. Relax your shoulders down away from the ears. And if you want more of a stretch, you can bend your front knee a little bit more. Your heel might lift off, and that's okay. Just make sure you're not bending the knee. Good. Excellent. And now let's press up, and we'll tuck the tailbone as we rise. You can reach up with the arm on the back leg side, or with both arms. You can sink a little deeper if you'd like. And here also, remember, I'd like you to tuck the tailbone. Make sure that your lower back isn't popping out here. And you can, of course, bring one or both hands to the seat, to the back of that chair anytime. Relax your shoulders down. Sink a little deeper if you're able. Good. One more deep breath in. Exhale and release the hands to the back of the chair. Lift the back heel up off the floor. Turn the back foot at 90 degrees to the front foot. And we'll gently place that foot back down. So you might want to stay up here with that front knee just very slightly bent. Back leg straight. You might even want to come closer together or line up the feet so that there's no twist at all, and that's fine. Now from here, we're going to extend both arms out in line with the front leg. When you look down at your front foot, I'd like you to be able to see the inside front ankle and the front big toe. Suck the belly button in. Make sure you're not leaning forward or back, or right here nice and solid in the middle. Sink a little deeper if you want more. Good. Reach for those side walls. Feel the arms get longer. Great job. One more deep breath in. And now we'll exhale the hand or the elbow to the back of the chair and swing the right arm down across the front of the body as we open up toward the sky. So you might remember this pose that we did from our seated position. We're looking for that extension from the right hip up into the side body and rib cage. Bottom shoulder presses down away from the ear as far as it will go. If you're reaching up above, see how far you can lengthen those fingertips around away from the toes. And remember that you can always bring that top hand to the hip or behind the back anytime. One more deep breath in. Exhale, come on up and release the arm. Lift the back heel up off the floor, turn the toes forward, and we're going to just step in or back or a combination of both and come right along to the other side. So again, standing nice and tall behind our chair, shoulders down and back, chest proud, neck long. And we're shifting to the right leg now, extending that left leg back, toes point forward. Gently press that heel down, tip forward, bringing the hands or the elbows to the back of the chair. Good. Gently press the heel to the floor, not to the floor, toward the floor. Remember, it doesn't have to get all the way there. Good. Shoulders are relaxed down away from the ears. So we'll come down here, and often the upper body is going to tense because we're trying to hold ourselves in place. But what I want you to do is roll them down and just feel just gently supported. We're never trying too hard in yoga. Good. Breathe. Excellent. And then when you're ready, you can press up onto the back of the chair, tucking your tailbone as you rise and reaching up with the arm on the back leg side, or with both arms if you feel like your balance is there today. And remember, you can always just come in between and gently raise the fingertips up to help that balance get a little stronger. Push down into your front heel. Feel the muscles of the front leg engage. Great. One more deep breath in. Exhale the hands down to the back of the chair. Lift the back heel up off the floor. Turn the back foot to the side and we'll gently place that foot back down. Great. Now we're going to reach both arms out in line with the front leg. And I want you to, again, just be mindful of your lower leg or your leg positioning and notice what's comfortable for you. So you might want to bring the feet closer together. You might want to remove the twist altogether. And in which case you can be reaching straight out in front or out to the sides. It's completely up to you. The key here is focus. Focus is number one on our breathing, on the way our body feels in this movement. Good. Suck the belly button toward the spine. Sink a little deeper if you're able. And when you look down at that front foot, whatever position you're in, you should be able to see the inside front ankle and the front big toe. Good. Reach for the side walls. Feel the arms getting longer. One more deep breath in. Exhale the front hand or elbow to the back of the chair. Swing the left arm down across the front of the body and open up toward the sky. Good. So again, if you're feeling more flexible, that hand can come down to the thigh, or you can press up and reduce your angle to help your lower back a little bit. Breathe into the fingertips, lengthen through the side body, and make sure your bottom shoulder is down away from the ear as far as it'll go. Breathe. Now let's inhale and come on up. Exhale, release the arm, lift the back heel up off the floor, and turn the toes forward. We'll step in or back or a combination of both. Excellent. And we're going to come back down onto our seats through that focused, controlled concentric movement. So knees, hips, and ankles all lined up. I'd like you to back up so that you're comfortable that you could land on the chair without looking, and the hands are anywhere except on the thighs or on the chair itself. And we'll just very slowly, with that perfect alignment, lower ourselves as softly as we can down into our seat. Excellent. Okay. So now we'll finish off with a little bit of upper body and come into our Shavasana, our final relaxation. Sitting up nice and tall at the edge of our seat for just a little while longer. We'll get to relax soon here. Shoulders down and back, chest proud, neck long, and the chin is tucked. Good. Let's just bring that right arm up toward the sky or straight out in front, and we're going to grasp the right wrist with the left hand. Remember, your arms can be out here or even down lower if that's more comfortable for you. Take a deep breath in, and we're going to exhale and just drop the left shoulder toward the left rib cage and hip. Now I want you to really focus that stretch up here in the rotator cuff rather than in the spine and the torso. Good. Now let's inhale through neutral. We'll switch sides. Exhale, drop the right shoulder down. So just extending that arm. Remember, you can be down lower if that's more comfortable for you. One more time in each direction. Inhale through neutral, and we switch. Exhale and drop. Good. Inhale through neutral and switch. Exhale and drop. Good. Now inhale and reach up toward the sky. Exhale and release the arms. Great job. And shake it out. And now we're going to bring that right arm across the front of the body, grasping just above the elbow, pressing down and drawing it in. So here, pat yourself on the back as we do. And if you like, you can straighten out that arm and draw it in. Hopefully you would be feeling the stretch through those shoulder muscles. We don't want neck tension, so don't let that shoulder ride up toward the ear. And we're sitting up nice and tall. Good, always. So again, we don't want to allow ourselves to cave in here in order to get deeper into the stretch or compromise in some way. Great, and then you can release the elbows, release the arms, lengthen out, and we'll come along to the other side. Left arm comes across, press down, draw it in, good job today, guys. And we should feel that stretch begin with no tension in the neck and shoulder, and if you like, you can reach that arm out. You can turn that palm down and forward if you like. If we straighten out the arm and rotate the hand, then hand positioning is shoulder positioning. So you don't have to do too much to really readjust your stretch here, just by focusing on what you're doing with your wrist. So I'd like you to tune in and don't let that shoulder roll up, just let it roll in as long as that's comfortable. Good. And then we'll release. Reach those arms out to the sides, and now I'd like you to spread the fingers, tip the wrists down and back, and allow your arms to follow toward the back legs of your chair. Breathe. Good. And I'd like you to see if you can bring this stretch right from fingertip to fingertip. So you can even angle those wrists down and back further. And feel free to relax your arms down at your sides if this is not comfortable for you. Good. And then we'll release. Roll the wrists around in circles. You can make a fist or you can keep the fingertips open. And then again, we'll squeeze and open. Excellent. And now a quick hand stretch. Reach that right hand out in front of you. And we're going to just bring the left hand across the fingertips and draw them back toward the body. Good. So all the same distance. Relax your shoulders down. They might tense up toward the ears. Good. And then we'll release. Squeeze it open. Shake it off. Left side, fingertips toward the sky. Right hand comes across the front of the fingers. Left arm is straight here. And then we're just going to gently draw those fingertips back without tensing the shoulders. So keep those shoulders relaxed down and back away from the ears. Good. And then we'll release. Excellent. We're going to try something new here. So let's make a fist with that right hand. We're going to aim that fist down just between the knees, grasping that fist with the left hand, and then you're going to maintain that fist and keep the arms straight as you gently bend it in toward the body. So try not to bend the elbow, and I'd like you to try and target that stretch in the back of the hand. You might not get very far on a given day, and that's fine. And find the angle that works for you. You might want to rotate that elbow from the shoulder a little bit, and that's going to address different ligaments and muscles on the back side of the hand. Good, and then we'll release, squeeze it open. And here we go to the other side. So make a fist, straighten out the arm, and just aim it down around your knees. And then we're going to grasp it with the other hand, and then bend the left wrist, drawing it in. So as you move, you might notice if you come at one angle, you don't get very far, you don't feel a stretch. But if you change your angle and draw it in, then you might feel more of a stretch through the back of that wrist. So that's what we're looking for. You can change the angle of your shoulder if you want to. So if you rotate your shoulder, your forearm and your upper arm is going to rotate, and that's going to change what you're addressing here in the back of your wrist. Good. And then we'll release, squeeze and open. Okay, let's finish off with our full body stretch. Breathe in deep, reach out through the fingertips and toes, lengthen. Exhale, bring everything in, curve and round. Good, and again, inhale, reach out, expand, lengthen through the fingertips and toes. Exhale and bring it in. One more time, breathe in deep, smile, and take up lots of space. Exhale, bring it in. And come back to neutral. Excellent job today, guys. So now we're going to come into our final relaxation. I'd like you to grab some socks or blankets or sweaters, whatever you need to be warm and comfortable as we come into Shavasana, as we will be cooling down now that we're not moving. So as we come into our final relaxation, our goal is to quiet the mind. So we do need to train our body, and we do need to train our mind as well. It doesn't just happen by accident. So when you learn to quiet the mind, you really have control over everything in your environment, because then you can choose your pattern of thought. That makes things a lot more clear and easy. So I'd like you to find your comfortable seated or laying down position, whatever that looks like to you. So you might even want to lay on the couch. That's completely fine too, or to find an easy chair, whatever you like. And we're going to start by taking a deep breath in all the way down to the tips of the toes and closing the eyes. And then exhaling completely, feeling the body relaxing down into the earth. Good. Now just for a moment, again, I'd like you to bring your attention to today's class and give yourself that mental pat on the back. Show yourself some appreciation and gratitude for showing up today, for giving it your best, and for doing something good for your body and mind, which makes the world around you a better place as well. Now we'll begin to relax from the bottom up. Breathe in all the way down to the tips of the toes, the balls of the feet, the arches, heels, and ankles, stirring up tension. Exhale it out, pressing it out of the body with focus. Breathe through the calves, the shins, the knee joints and thighs. Exhale, tension all the way down to the bones, pressing it out of the body. Breathe through the hips, pelvis, buttocks, and lower spine. As you exhale, feel the body relax down into the floor, into the earth. Breathe through the middle and upper back, through the rib cage and solar plexus. As you exhale, feel the heart and lungs slow down, relaxing. Breathe through the collarbone, shoulders, biceps, and elbows. Exhale, tension, allowing the arms to relax at the sides. Breathe through the forearms, wrists, palms, and backs of the hands. As you exhale, allow the fingertips to let go of tension. Relax the muscles of the neck, through the top of the spine and the base of the skull. Relax the throat. Relax the jaw. Relax the muscles of the face, around the eyes, mouth, and ears. Relax the brow. And lastly, release the breath, breathing naturally as you sink deeper into relaxation. Now slowly bring the attention back to the breathing. Take a deep breath in and exhale completely. Gently bring the attention back to the body. Wiggle the fingers and toes. Move the wrists and ankles around in circles. And as we bring our awareness back to this world, I'd like you to just make that list of 3 things, any 3 things that you're grateful for, that you like or love or appreciate. Anything at all that just makes you smile and feel joy. Now again, bring your attention back to the lines of the body, taking a deep breath in. Exhale and open the eyes. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and I hope to see you next time.